Get out your bottles of wine and put your kids to bed. It's Tuesday night and we are doing it again. The Two Birds Podcast with Jamie and Crystal.
Hi, Jamie. Oh, there you are. I couldn't see you behind those birds.
Well, hey, listen, we gotta do some type of opening here, and it was just the first time I was like, hey, you know what? Put the kids to bed. Let's go. Let's make it happen.
You know what? We gotta work on the song thing.
Well, yeah, I agree. It's hard. It's hard to find the time. I mean, we're both parents. We're both single. We're both trying to figure out the rest of our lives here, and we're stuck here in the process of trying to figure out a better song than the 30-second countdown.
Then it's a shit show.
That it's a shit show.
It's a shit show.
And again, it's been like a couple of weeks since we've seen each other. The last time I was here, and then I didn't make it last game because they went and long at the Phillies game.
I know. Well, the week before that, you had your little family emergency.
No, I didn't. 2 weeks ago, we actually had a great show.
Oh no, that was 2 weeks ago. That was the time before that.
Yeah, the week before that was the problem. We had the issues, but
yeah.
That's okay. That's all right.
That's all right.
I
miss your very handsome face.
Australia in the house. I'm appreciative. Welcome, Australia.
Hi.
All the way from Australia, because I guess they're single down there too.
I mean, I would imagine so. Have you seen all those Australian dating?
So. I mean, I don't know if I could date a girl who likes Vegemite, but that's just me. Because I don't even know, like that stuff is like gross to me. I can't eat it.
Oh, no. I don't know. No. I can feed a kangaroo. I know that.
You can feed a kangaroo?
Yeah, we went Easter weekend. I took the kids to a farm down here that you could feed giraffes and zebras and kangaroos. And they had like a little circus act, and I rode a camel. It would have been a really good, like, adventurous date. So maybe I can find some very hot, sexy man to take me on a date to ride a camel.
Feed a kangaroo?
Feed a kangaroo and ride a camel.
Ride the camel.
Ride the camel.
One hump or two. It's hump day. It's hump day. That's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow. But maybe I can make him take me on a Wednesday, and then that would be kind of funny. There was one hump, I think.
It's better when there's two humps because then it can like hold you in, right? I mean, I don't know. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've been on a camel. You know what I mean? So I don't think I've ever been on a camel.
It's been a while since I've been on a camel too. However, being the cool mom, I of course got talked into riding a camel.
Lots of humps. Lots of humping.
Lots of humps. They, however, would not ride the camel. However, I got stuck riding the camel.
What's up, guys? I see all the hellos, and I appreciate it. Welcome to the show.
Hi!
Tonight we were going to talk about crushes, and what happens when you start to crush. I mean, when you think of crush, when I started thinking about crushes, I think about like being in like grade school. And then like middle school, and like that's when you got like a crush.
When was your first, like, do you remember your first crush? I remember my first crush.
I tell you, I mean, when it came to crushes, I think I crushed a lot. You know what I mean? I liked girls very young. So I remember being like a little ahead of my time, I think, in that type of stuff.
A little ahead of your time?
Yeah, I liked girls young, really young. At least I remember liking girls really young.
All right.
I mean, I didn't do anything then. Like, you didn't know what you were doing. I mean, obviously.
No, but that doesn't mean that you didn't have a crush.
Well, I mean, you had a crush because you didn't know what else to call it. Well, yeah. For instance, all right, here you go. You want to hear a story? I remember in second grade, I kind of liked this girl. I know her name right off the top of my head too. Her name was Sarah Kalbach.
Sarah Kalbach. Hi,
And she's in
Sarah.
second grade. Now we're talking about in second grade. And
Hey, the last time we talked about some girl, like way back then, she actually happened to be watching, and she was like, "Are you talking about me?"
hey, we won't bring that story up right now because I just in case she's watching, I don't want to call her out on it. So
No, but maybe Sarah's watching as well.
I tell you what, if Sarah Callback is watching right now, the link is down here in the bio. Check it out.
Check it out.
Come in.
On, Sarah.
In fact, I'll put it in all the notes over here. So if you want to come on, you can come on. I want everybody to come on tonight. If you're going to come on, you've got something to say. You want to talk about your crush. You want to talk about things that you did. Let's do it. Let's talk.
Let's talk.
But anyways, so yeah, and she was cute. I mean, she was second grade. I mean, it was like, what are we doing? When are we going to go? There's no dating in second grade back in that day.
You spent recess together on the slide.
No, she didn't even like me. She didn't even like me. It was like a weird thing.
Of course not. You
guys,
probably threw something at her.
It's the way it was. It was just the way it was.
You probably did. You probably threw something at her.
I'm sure. I probably tried to hit her or do whatever. It just didn't quite work.
No.
What's up, Damien? How you doing, my man? Yeah, we're just sitting here. And like I said, tonight we're talking about crushes. And so I have had some crushes over the time. So I have definitely, as I got older, I had some crushes. I know my first real celebrity crush, my very first celebrity crush was Christy McNichol. And I guess people are going to have to look that one up because that's she,
Yeah.
I don't
know who that was.
And I had a thing for Dorothy Hamill.
Okay, I know who that is.
She was a figure skater, and then as I got a little older, there was the girl on Who's the Boss, Alyssa Milano.
Hey, wait. Oh, wait. Okay, that's not the girl that I talked about. The girl that I talked about last week was the girl from Boy Meets World, the one that's got the fan page, the redheaded one. Not Topanga's friend.
I don't know. I'm not sure who that is.
I
never saw Boy Meets World. But I do remember the one girl named Penelope. What was the girl? What show was that with a girl named Penelope?
Penelope. Are you sure it wasn't Topanga?
I'm positive it wasn't Topanga.
Penelope? I don't remember a Penelope.
Yeah, there was another show. The girl's name was Penelope. She was kind of cute.
I don't know. If you know who Penelope is, comment below and let me know.
Farrah Fawcett was a good one. See, but I wasn't allowed to watch 10. You know what I mean? With Dudley Moore, I wasn't able to watch that until I was 15, 16 years old. I had a pretty rough, strict. Hey, listen, we're not allowed to watch that type of stuff. So
I can remember the first time that Leonardo DiCaprio and The Masked Man, I think it was the first time that I thought a guy was sexy as hell.
Gotcha. Meg Ryan. Meg Ryan. I don't know about that. I don't know.
Hey, I'm a Meg Ryan fan. You calm yourself down. You know what? And Leonardo DiCaprio did not last long. He's just not my type of guy.
I don't mind Meg Ryan. When Harry Met Sally is still one of those secret pleasures I have. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. As far as chick flicks go, that is my all-time favorite chick flick of all time.
And I
still quote from that movie a lot. I've watched that movie probably 100,000 times.
every time that me and you are going to get together and actually be in the same room, we swear that we're going to do that.
Well, watch that movie?
No.
What?
Do the whole sandwich sex scene thing.
Oh, yes. That's I
We
think
talk
that
about
would
it
be
every
that would
single
actually be
time.
perfect. That would be a great scene for between the two of us
It
reenacting that scene.
Because honestly, that's probably what our conversations are really like.
That exactly. It really there really are like, shit shows.
they are honest to God, pretty much just like that.
That's exactly it, Chuck. That's exactly it. That's exactly the scene we're talking about. We're going to go to a restaurant and actually recreate that scene. The problem is
who doesn't want to hear me have an orgasm at a table in public?
Make sure that everybody can see it so that we can actually do it right.
Well, I think we need to do it at an actual restaurant where we get the response from everybody that doesn't know it's coming.
Correct. I agree.
However, we have to stay sober enough together long enough to make that happen.
I don't know. I think getting a little bit more drunk is even more worth it to do it that way.
No, because then we're a shit show, and then we're all over the place. Then you're on one side of the room, and I'm on the other side of the room. And we don't talk to each other until like 3 a.m. And then we're up on the couch till like 7 a.m.
I understand. Well, I get it. So, but as I got older, and I tell you, I swear to Christ, there was one day in time. I remember this day clear as day.
Mm-hmm.
I said that I was going to go to Great Adventure, and I was going to go see Belinda Carlisle, and this was after she was with the Go-Go's. They had Go-Go's that broken up. And I tell you, so there was her, and then there was Susanna Hoffs. Susanna Hoffs was so much hotter than Belinda Carlisle.
Your crush life is like your dating life. You cannot commit whatsoever.
Well, as I was telling somebody the other day, I'm not a grass is greener guy. I just like grass.
No, you just like grass.
I just like grass.
You just like grass. You're not grass is greener. You just like the grass.
We have somebody jumping on.
Stop it.
It's possible. It's possible.
Is it Sarah?
But she's got to. It seems like they got to work it out here a little bit. But
all right.
They disappeared. Oh, it's a bummer. That's a bummer. I was all excited. Oh,
come on back, baby cakes. I, however, are completely opposite of you. I crush for a really long time, and I don't change. And I don't change my class. I mean, Matt Damon's been my celebrity crush for I don't know how many years.
Yeah, but I don't stop crushing on them.
You just want more?
No, I just crush on somebody else as well.
Oh.
I have multiple crushes.
I don't. I mean, I might be like, oh, he's cute, or oh, he's funny, or oh, like, no.
I mean, there's
Matt
Sloane
Damon
from Entourage.
all the way, every day, all day long.
Last time you saw Sloane from Entourage?
Who?
The show Entourage.
Yeah.
Sloane.
Okay.
The girl who was dating E. I thought she was really hot in that show. That was my most recent celebrity crush. I don't get many more celebrity crushes anymore because I'm old now. You don't get celebrity crushes. If I crush on somebody now, it's weird, kind of.
Why?
I don't know, because I feel the need to tell them.
What are you gonna? Like an actual, like real, like not a celebrity.
Like if I crush on somebody, so all right. Now I'll tell a story. So there is somebody right now who doesn't live anywhere near me, and there's I have like I like a lot of her social media stuff, and it is.
Can we preface it that this is not me?
Yeah, it's definitely not you. Do I even like
You
any
know
of your
that's
stuff?
the
I
next
don't even know that you
question.
show up on my FYP. So,
You know that that's the next question.
but no, it's definitely not you. And I actually started talking to her.
Good.
You know, and in fact, I'm gonna quote myself here.
Ooh.
I said specifically to her, and I slipped into her DMs.
Did you play a little bit of peekaboo in her DMs?
And she responded. You know what I mean? And then ultimately, I said to her, I said, I hope, please tell me that you're not single. And I even said it afterwards. I'm like, yeah, I know, right? Not single, because I want to know that there is a guy out there who likes you, even though you're doing all this stuff, and they're okay with all of that stuff, and they like you for you, and you can enjoy them as well, and that you're having a great life. You know what I mean? Because that was. It was more important to me to know that she's happy with the guy. Because if she's not happy with the guy, if she's got some dude who's an asshole, then I definitely am like, I'm gonna double down. But if she's happy with somebody, I could be happy with that.
Oh, Cupcake, that was the wrong direction.
I don't know. I got a great. I tell you what. Now I'll read you what I wrote and the response.
All right, let's hear it. Let's hear how bad you went up.
No, I don't think I. Oh.
I'm looking forward to. Are you playing TikTok now? We got
no,
TikTok.
It wasn't TikTok. It wasn't on TikTok. So I just got it. My phone is like going crazy. All right, here you go. What did I say here? Was it on this one? No, I guess it was on TikTok.
You really played peekaboo in her TikTok DMs.
I think I did. I think I did play peekaboo in her TikTok DM. You know, and I don't do that very often.
You don't play. That's good.
Oh, maybe it wasn't in the TikTok DMs.
No, now you can't find it.
Oh, here it is. Here you go. Please tell me you are not single. I know, right? Not single, and not in capital letters. I want to believe that there is a guy out there who's okay with what you are doing and still enjoys you, and that you enjoy him too. Because if you do not, that is an effing shame. And I wrote that out loud. Her response, ha 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 ha. This is great. I do what I want. Anyone who wants to be with me is good with that. My response, I'm happy to hear that. That's exactly the way it should be.
Okay, that was a good conversation. Can I be her best friend?
You could be. You gotta find her.
Okay.
But you understand though, like that. I thought that when I wrote that, I mean,
I do, because how many times have we had the same conversation that you say the same thing to me? Not that you're playing peekaboo in my DMs, but that you say the same thing to me, that you just want me to be happy and you want somebody that loves me for me and is going to treat me right. Otherwise, you're going to go kick their ass.
Because the truth of the matter is that I know that I am not going to be the end all be all for her or anybody. And because I understand that and appreciate that, I would rather somebody that I dig on be happy. If they're not happy, I can do whatever I can to try to make them happy. But that only means that at some point I'm going to make them unhappy.
You're just not there. Like, you are good playing in the grass.
Right. Like I said, I like to call myself a cedar.
As
or
Peter,
maybe.
don't be spreading your seeds everywhere, please God.
Yeah, I want the grass to grow, and I am going to be. I'll call myself the sunlight, or maybe I'm like the water for the grass. I like to water the grass. That sounds so bad.
Just play. Can you just play in the grass? I don't want to picture you watering the grass, seeing the grass, or sunning the grass.
It's getting better and better and better here tonight. Let me tell you, this is some of the quality entertainment that you get here on the Two Bird Show.
Oh my gosh. Oh Lord.
But you know what? It's like so. In the process, her and I have talked a little bit more now. You know what I mean? And like I said, she's not close to me, and I what am I going to do? You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean?
Babe,
Patty, no, not like pee. I'm not peeing on the grass.
However, I don't think the love of your life is somewhere hidden out in a corner on Philly.
Oh, my mother would always tell me that she said to me all the time that she felt that I always thought that I was the star on my Christmas tree.
You are the star on your Christmas tree.
Well, if I'm the star on the Christmas tree, then there ain't no room up there. You know what I mean? That's the problem. That's the problem. So when you have that type of problem, you do what you got to do. You know what I mean? That's it. That's life. Anybody who wants to come on, please definitely come on. Like I said,
come on.
I would love to have you guys add to this. Patty Cream's talking to me about like that I'm watering the grass over here. Watering the grass here. I'm gonna put this up there. No, not like pee.
Not like pee.
But I understand where you're going with that.
Yeah.
I mean,
is it just me, or is like our logo right over my head?
It is a little bit over your head. I could take the logo off. You know what? No, because everybody knows where we're at. Everybody knows the show.
I controlled that situation.
Nope, that was the wrong one.
No, I had it.
There you go.
There we go. I had it. I just had to move my camera.
Yeah, you can do it that way.
That's even better.
So, and now you can even see it because it's in the blue.
Right.
But I don't know. So when I was thinking about what to talk about tonight, and we were talking about the crushes.
Talking about crushes.
I was here. I'm just reading this because Sean says you're talking about him.
Well, that was the TikTok that I sent you.
Got you. Well, you know what? Then let's roll the film.
Let's roll the
film. This is the TikTok that you're talking about, Sean, about? This one right here?
Well, this is him.
This is Sean?
This is Sean.
So I've had a lot of comments like this, and I just picked my boy Wolfie because, whatever, one of them. There's a difference between flaws and flags in my eyes. Flaws I can fall in love with. Flaws I can sit back and be like, she's cute as shit. She eats like a weirdo. Flaws are fine. Everybody has flaws. I got 17 personalities. I mean, there's a ton of flaws there. Red flags are completely different for me. Red flags are deal breakers, so to speak. Tiny manipulations, because it's going to get worse over time. An inability to disclose the full truth. There's so many of them, and the problem is now I find a little one, and that's all I see. Flaws I can live with. Red flags I can't. To me, there's a big ass difference. But one day there won't be any.
So now I gotta bring it up now because I've listened to this a few times. Now, and so you go looking for the little red flags now, not even big red flags, little red flags, and those little red flags is what stops you.
No, that's not what he's saying.
Well, no, he did say that a little bit. And like I said,
No, he said that most people, that's what most people do.
Well, no, he said that most people confuse flaws for flags.
But
that's what he said originally, and so that's why I am. So now I want you to come on. You're
now, Sean, now you're being summoned.
You got the tag. Come on, so we can talk about it. Obviously, we now got everybody. Everybody knows what you look like now. So let's go. Come on and talk to me about it, because ultimately, if you're looking for little red flags,
he's not looking for little red flags. He had the realization that a lot of people are taking flaws and turning them into red flags, when there's a difference between a flaw and a red flag. Like, if here we go, where it's like you're the Philly sports guy. You have women everywhere just swimming over you, and that should be a red flag, where it's really not a red flag. It's just one of your flaws, because in actuality, you really don't.
Well, I don't have many flaws at all. No, Sean, you shouldn't need your laptop. You can do it via your phone.
No, you can do it your phone.
Yeah, you can definitely use your phone. All you do is click that link, like copy and paste that link into Chrome. Will be better. Chrome would be better, but
if you're an Apple person like me, you gotta do it on Chrome.
Okay.
Safari won't do it.
Flags are yes, I agree with that. Flags are definitely much different than flaws.
Flags are much different than flaws.
Flaws, everybody's got flaws.
I have flaws.
Except me. My flaw is that I am not a very quiet guy.
That is one of your flaws.
I can't keep a secret. I can't keep it quiet.
That is one of your flaws. But a lot of women would take that as a red flag. Like, oh, well, he's loud and he can get obnoxious and he's never going to be able to take anything seriously. And I'm never going to be able to have a serious conversation with him. He's over abundance and he's never going to calm down. When I know a side of Jamie that's completely opposite of that, and like, we can chill out on the couch and he's not this like crazy loud guy. So but a lot of women would see that as a red flag with you. If they saw you out and about and saw you in that environment, they would be like, "Ooh, red flag." But it's not really a red flag.
So, Angela, to do that, unfortunately, it's hard to try to do that the opposite way. It's hard to switch a flag to a flaw, because your red flags, if you have a red flag with somebody, you can't get over it. So if you're trying to make it a flaw, that means that you are taking something that you have said no to. So for instance, and I'll make this actually very simple, because I can explain this in a really good way. I used to be a smoker for a very long time. I am really going to be hard pressed to date another smoker now, because I can't deal with it anymore. My ex is still a smoker. I love my ex to death, and I've been very honest about that here. You know what I mean? She's a great mother. She's a great girl. She's a great woman. I want her to be very happy with the rest of her life. I won't be with her again. And half of that reason is because she smokes. It's like I've now quit smoking now for over 10 years. 10 years of quit smoking. And I am going to be really, really, really hard pressed to date another smoker.
Red flags are things that you go into a relationship knowing that that's a hard line for you. It's a hard you already know your hard lines, and you go into a relationship and you know your hard lines, and then you see that person do it, and then you decide, oh, well, I could change that about them, or I could fix that part of them. I know it's something that I'm not okay with, but I'm going to. Oh, what am I?
No, I was just looking about how much was left. I couldn't really see, so I should look in the camera.
I can fix that. Those are major red flags. When you are trying to change that person, knowing that it's already not okay with you, that's a red flag.
Angela's going to come talk to us about what she thinks about the red flags.
Angela!
Hello.
Hi!
How are you? Welcome to the show.
Well, hello. Don't mind if you hear dogs. I have 3 sitting on my bed right now, so.
That's okay. I've got one. I have one that she snores a lot, so you might hear her in the background.
Yeah, there's some females I've noticed that they know they have a flaw, and I see technically those are red flags, but they try and play it off as a flaw. Like, oh, I didn't know that I was doing this, when they do it repeatedly and repeatedly and repeatedly, and you're just like, dude, use your brain, come on. But like for me, my ex, go ahead.
Like the women have a red, like they know that they have a red flag?
Yeah, they know that they have a red flag. Like, say,
that the guy has a red flag.
No, like them personally, they know they have technically a red flag that somebody will pick up on.
Okay.
So here, all right. So you're talking about something completely different. So you are talking about somebody thinking that you one of your traits makes a red flag.
Right.
And that's not that you can't ever think that way. And the reason why you can never think that way is because you can't ever put in the expectations of how somebody else is going to view you for any reason whatsoever. You know what I mean? If they love you, they're going to love you. If they don't like you, they're not going to like you. If they're trying to do something, they're trying to get with you for, hey, listen, we're going to show a couple of videos here in a little bit. And one of the statements on there is, if he's trying to cajole you to get some coochie, they're going to do that, and that's going to show through. And it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter what you think is the reason why. They're going to go away because they're going away anyways. And that's the problem. Some of the guys that are out there in the world have no idea what it is they want in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So, really, truth, and that just means that they're just trying to get laid.
I dealt with one for 2 years. I'm a very ambitious person. Like, I played soccer from 6 to 21, went to college, got bored with college, took a semester off, joined the Army, did that for 8 years.
Thank you for your service. But I got 4 words for you. Go Navy, beat Army.
Oh, no.
I'm done with that.
But then as I was getting out, I got my first associates in criminal justice. I'm now working on my second associates in accounting with logistics. And I got the guy I dated for 2 years was like, well, you work too much and you're always doing schoolwork. And I was like, well, I'm trying to better myself for when, and mind you, he smoked pot every day. And I have nothing against pot. My father, who passed, had 18 surgeries, smoked it every day till the day he died. But he had a medical reason to do it. This idiot was like, no, I just want to get high for the hell of it. And I'm allergic to it.
That's an excuse.
Oh, I know.
That is 100% just an excuse. Because I know a lot of people that are very successful and that smoke every day and completely have their shit together. it's an excuse to do whatever he wants to do. And he's saying that you're not spending enough time with me because you're achieving your goals.
Yep.
And I don't have the ambition to achieve the same level of success you do. So I'm going to pull you down. That is a red flag.
Yeah. Well, and see, my dad was a biochemist, smoking it. So his way of thinking was, I was like, no, you have
No.
nothing to stand on. And
You are using that as I would consider that as a social clutch.
Yeah. And then the biggest thing for me was when we initially started dating, he actually was nice about it because I'm allergic to it. As funny as it sounds, I really am allergic
No,
to
because I'm allergic to it too, Angela. I got you, girl.
else I get picked
I got you, girl. I'm allergic to it too.
I'm not allergic to it.
I throw up everywhere. It's fine. I got you, boo.
Everybody's like, no, it can't happen. I was like, and it's not the weed. It's the smoke that comes off of the damn stuff makes me so sick. And he didn't have the respect. I didn't care if he smoked it. Just don't do it around my nose because it's going to make me nauseous and have a headache and make me already RBF face even worse. And I'm not going to be having a good time.
But again, we're going back to that that social clutch where he thinks that it's okay just for him to do it and use that as an excuse for me to now be lazy.
No, and I'm going to take it one step further.
And that's not reality.
I'm going to take it even one step further here, Angela. I feel like he was trying his best to get you to break up with him.
Yes.
He was trying to control me. He was trying.
No,
he control you all he tries to want to.
He wanted to. He was finding his way out.
He wanted to get his way out, and he had no way of being able to do it.
But he wanted his way out.
And you could. I understand that you may not feel that way.
Oh no, I did, because we spent 1 weekend together, and I was like, dude, I'm done. I can't do this. I broke up with him because it just
he was not man enough to break up with you because he knew that you were too good for him.
Yeah.
So he wasn't going to break up with you. He was going to give you an excuse to break up with him.
Yeah.
Well, and like I said, I can appreciate that. Sean, I see you back there. Give me just 1 minute, and we'll get to you in just a second. So I used to do that a lot. I used to let the girl break up with me.
He's so full of shit because he still does it today.
I don't. No. I have a lot more. Like, first off,
he is much more aware of the fact that he does it. But
yeah, and not only that, but I also. I don't need to break up with the girl because I'm not trying to break up. I'm not trying to spend the rest of my life with the girl.
But it took him a hot minute to get there.
It did. It did take me a very hot minute to get there. But now that I know that, I have a lot of love to give. And I only want to be able to give that love. I just also can't give it to just one person. Most guys aren't able to come to grips with that. Most guys, because I'm comfortable in my own skin. I'm comfortable being by myself. Most guys aren't. Most guys need a woman. And in the process of trying to find the woman that they want to be with, they will keep a woman that they don't.
Yeah, by the end of our relationship, he was like, well, you need to be working out more. You need to be eating better. Like
everything to try to make you feel worse about yourself.
Once it started there, I was done because I've already done too much in my life for his little petty ass to try and put me down.
You queen, you put that crown on, girl. Wear it tall and proud.
Angela,
that little boy out of the way.
Angela, I really do appreciate you sharing this with us for a minute or two. Please come back on. We have a lot more to talk about, Angela. I want to revisit this again.
All right.
Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. Look at who we got here. Look at who we got here.
What's going on? What's up?
One of my favorite is right now.
She's
I
pointing in
might-
the
I
wrong
might be
direction.
TikTok
She's
stalking
pointing.
him.
She should be pointing that way, and she's pointing.
I'm
this
over
way.
here. There you go.
Wait, hold on. Wait, not that guy.
So, Sean,
I'm going the opposite direction.
She sent me this video today, and I was watching it, and I was like, I watched it for a second. I'm like, okay, I get it. Let's play this tonight. You know what I mean? Because we like to play a couple of TikToks of people that are talking about dating. You know, it's like I'm 48 years old. You know, I got 2 kids. You know, I'm single dad. We got our lives together. You know, I mean, it is what it is, and
we do.
I like to go on TikTok and find this. She's like 41. She's got a few kids and stuff like that.
So, Sean, what? Okay, so because I think Jamie and I are on 2 different pages with this whole flaws and flags thing. So, explain to me what is the difference between a flaw and a flag for you. Like, give.
So,
I want a solid example.
I mean, just kind of like I said in the video, it's something. All right, so flaws are like, say you're an open mouth chewer, like that's irritating as shit. But it's something I can deal with. A red flag is like I say in the video as well, manipulations, tiny manipulations, because those are the start of their foundation to control you down the road. I've been divorced twice. I have 4 kids, 3 different mothers. I've been to hell and back. Red flags are completely different from flaws in the sense that flaws are something that you can learn to live with. Red flags are something that they're going to use against you 99% of the time. Red flags are things that are going to destroy the relationship.
So it's kind of like what Angela was saying, of the fact that when he started really minimizing her for reaching out for her dreams and going forward and working hard, he then was like, you're working too much, you're going to school too much, you're like, you need to slow down and spend more time with me. That to me would be a red flag, because I would be like, don't you want me to succeed? Don't you want me to do better? So then we do better.
Exactly. As a partner, you're supposed to push them to meet and then exceed their goals. You're not supposed to oh no, you're getting close to your goals because you're going to school so much. No, bullshit. What can I do to help pick up the slack? What do you need me to do to help make school easier for you? You know, that's a huge red flag. And I didn't get to hear the whole conversation because I was trying to get this thing to work. And
no, but I get that. But here's the one thing that I have to say about that is that you, as a human being, are able to determine the difference between somebody's flaws and a flag that you have determined as being something that is not able to be, that you aren't able to get over.
Yeah.
So that's you. You can't ever make somebody else think that one of your flaws isn't a flag for them.
Agreed. Fully agreed. It's different for everyone.
Right.
It's different for everyone because how many times have you heard people bring up the fact, oh, open mouth chewers can't deal with it? No, not going to happen. It's something I can deal with, but it's something other people can't. Everybody has different red flags, but for the most part, major red flags are the same for everyone.
I think major red flags, but this is what I was saying to Jamie. I think that going into the relationship, you already have those hard lines. You've already determined what your hard lines are, and those hard lines are your red flags. And we all have different hard lines. Besides our, come on. But this goes back to 2 conversations before this, 2 podcasts before this, where it's basic shit. Don't cheat on me. That should not be a red flag. That should just be basic relationship basic. Like, why is that now an expectation? If we have determined that me and you are in a committed, serious relationship and we are not dating anybody else, and we have verbally had that conversation, I should not have to say my hard line is if you cheat on me.
I can't argue that.
Well,
Jamie can't either.
but ultimately, that's not.
Poor Sean has gotten in the middle of two best friends.
But that's not a red flag. That's not even a red flag. That is something that should be like, if you're in a committed relationship, that has got to be one of the staples of the relationship. Now we're talking about trust. It's a whole different scenario, because if you don't have trust, you got to make sure that's a red flag for you. And that's one of the problems. That's one of the problems with us as human beings, is that we don't make it a red flag for us. We are very specific, where we think that we can change the person to be who we want them to be. And if they're going to be a cheater, they're always going to be a cheater, and it's not going to make a difference, because that's who they are. And some people are able to handle with it. Some people are able to handle it and not be a red flag for them. They might get angry and upset, but if it ain't a red flag for them, they're going to be able to be walked on their entire life. And that's a real statement, so.
Can we just start a support group for those poor fools?
That's my second marriage in a nutshell, everything that you just said.
And it's a shame, because hey, listen, me and my ex, we had a very good, there were certain things about our relationship that were very good. There were other parts of our relationship that just, there was so many other parts that just didn't mesh. She loved that I was social, and loved that it took me 45 minutes to leave a place because I had to say goodbye to everybody. And then once she got me, she wanted me to stay home and never go out anymore. And that's not who I am. And ultimately, when you don't know how to respond to that, you start looking at other avenues on how to release that. And in my case, and it was my fault. Although I didn't ever cheat on her, I pushed the envelope to the point where I could have, and that she caught me, because I'm not very sneaky. I can't be very sneaky, and I'm not very quiet, and I'm not very shady.
Jamie's the farthest thing from being sneaky or shady.
So you're going to catch me. You're going to catch me in the act, because I couldn't do anything, and it broke my heart, because I hurt her, and that's not what I'm trying to do. But you can't explain that to somebody that you just hurt. No, I didn't want to hurt you.
It's taken you guys years to come back from that, and now you guys are in a good place.
Right, because she understands that that I am not a bad person. I just have certain situations that I can't commit. I'm not going to be able to commit to one woman for the rest of my life. I am the bull that wants to go walk down the hill slowly, to do all of the cows rather than to race down and just get one. Everybody's heard that joke before, right? I'm not talking out my ass here, right?
No.
I mean, you're always talking out of your ass. We can start with that, but definitely for the
So when I saw your video, I was unsure. So my question was, I was unsure if you were talking about seeing a flaw, or seeing a small flag, a small little red flag, and trying to figure out whether that was a flaw or not, whether you could handle it. Because when I see a red flag, that red flag is, it don't matter if it's a small little itty bitty, those little itty bitty flags that you can put on a little marshmallow and do like that, or if it's the big monstrous red flag behind me. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Red flags are red flags.
Now, see, I used to wait and see how red the flags would get before I'd leave. That's why I've been married twice. But now, even the small red flags I see, and I'm like, nope, it doesn't matter. Small, big, doesn't matter. If it's red, you're in the friend zone now. That's just kind of how it works.
Can I ask
Okay,
how
so
old you are?
what would be a small red flag for you?
It varies with each person, so to speak, because the problem is I'm to a point now where, like, recently with a few women that I've talked to, if they get sexual too quickly, I consider that's all they're looking for, so I red flag the shit out of that.
Really? That's an interesting one.
Yes, because
I can't do that.
That would not be a red flag to me, by the way.
With my 4 kids, my oldest is 18 and is a female, and my youngest, the twins, they're 3-year-old girls. So I've got to make sure that I'm setting a proper example for them, and that if they see what I'm doing, that they don't see that I'm running from woman to woman to woman. I want them to do Dad's being very picky. He's looking for very specific things.
You have 3 girls, 1 boy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So
now,
the moment.
So do you ever think, sorry to interrupt, do you ever think the opposite of that? Like, that they may think that, not that you're being too picky, that maybe you can't open yourself up and you don't know how to love somebody?
Yes. And I
would say that more for
mine too.
Like the 18-year-old, like her not having that in her life to see what a good example that would be to have that positive relationship.
Yeah, it's something in the back of my mind that I'm worried about, but at the same time, I'm doing my best to show
that you don't want girls just coming in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out.
Yeah, I'm trying my best with all of that to also show that self-love is extremely important, and that being happy with you is extremely important. I'm okay being single to an extent. Like, don't get me wrong. It sucks going to dinner by yourself, but
I love going to dinner by myself.
But realistically, I don't want to waste my time. You know, it's a real weird place for me because I'm a hopeless romantic and I want to find that. But with everything that's happened in the past, you know, like I said, you asked for a little red flag, and being too sexual with me too quickly is a red flag for me, because every ex that I've had has cheated on me, and they were extremely sexual extremely quickly. So
now would that be like being sexual in like the first couple of times that you guys were talking, or like being physical with you on a first date and not holding back? Or
I haven't been on a date in like a year and a half.
Oh God. What is wrong with you, man? Go on dates. Dates are like interviews. You are never going to get a job unless you go on an interview.
And
it's hard for me
in that case, I am going to agree with her. Like I am one of those guys that feels that you should definitely date, and you should date a lot. You should date a lot of women that you don't like, because truth of the matter is that you learn more from the women that you don't like than you do from the women that you do. And it's practice. You know, it's like, it's hard, and it's hard to think about it that way. It's hard to think about it that way. Because you don't want to be a slut either. You know what I mean? You're not trying to be a slut.
No. Dating is not being a slut, but you can go on dates, and you can do it when you don't have your kids, and just go for an appetizer, go for a drink, do like a 5-minute. Hey, we're gonna do one cocktail and see where it goes, and then cut it off there, and then see what happens. Like, it doesn't have to be like this huge like thing, but dating is exactly like going on a job interview. If you're not doing it, you get horrible at it.
Yeah,
And then you're at a complete loss of what to do when you actually want to date a girl.
and I can appreciate exactly what Kinte is saying here. That, like, listen, we could tell you exactly what to do, but you got to live your own life.
It's true.
Oh, yeah.
And by the way,
You know what I
Sean,
mean?
I
So-
tell Jamie
so-
what to do all the time, and he never listens.
We can only suggest. We can only suggest, and it doesn't mean that we're going to be right in anything that we're expressing either. I know that, like, as I've lived my life a certain way, and I'll be honest, when I was breaking up with my ex, I was so miserable for so long. I didn't know what made me happy. So I actually had to make a list on what made me happy again so that I could understand, so that I could share with somebody else what makes me happy. And it's not simple to figure that out sometimes. You sometimes have to think about it, and it's like, and you got to take some of the, like the happiest moments of my life. I mean, I remember when my son was born. I remember when my daughter was born. I remember, like those moments in time that will stick forever. Once you get beyond that, you have to start thinking about other times that are important to you and what makes you as a human being. And, in my case, it was a lot of sports, but it wasn't all sports, and that's the one thing that everybody, like, being the Philly sports guy, everybody kind of thinks like, hey, listen, my life is passionate about sports. But the truth of the matter is my life is about passion in general. And I like showing passion. I like receiving passion. And I like when people are passionate about following what it is that they want to follow. And I want to help that out in as best way I can. Truth of the matter is that in a lot of ways, guys don't know what their passions are, and they put it towards women.
I would imagine that Sean probably knows what his passion is.
I do.
Just by like what I've seen on TikTok and his demeanor and his attitude towards relationships and women in general, I would imagine he knows what his passion is, and his passion is not geared towards women.
Right.
No, I kind of want to know what you think it is now.
I would imagine a lot of it has to do with your kids or whatever they're involved in.
Yep. Everything that I do pretty much is surrounded by my kids. And when I'm not surrounded by my kids, it's everything to do with sports.
Where are you from?
Michigan.
Michigan, like Detroit?
I grew up in the Detroit area. Yeah, now I live up in the thumb.
Where do you live?
Up in the thumb, up here. I'm in the tip. Just
okay,
the tip.
you're
Just
okay. All right.
If it feels good.
Yeah. Now I'm up.
So
now
funny
I'm up in the
story,
thumb.
Sean, is my family's actually from Grand Blanc.
I know exactly where Grand Blanc is.
You are probably one of the very few.
I know exactly. I used to be a firefighter for the city of Davison, so I know it very well. And I was a firefighter EMT in Ortonville, so I know Grand Blanc very well.
Not a lot of people know where Grand Blanc is.
No.
But if you go to Grand Blanc, you'll see my family name everywhere.
Okay, I'm gonna go there and just look for it now.
See, now when I was up there, I lived in Warren.
I know where Warren is too. I grew up in
17 Mile and Van Dyke Boulevard.
Yep. That's one of my bowling leagues is at 10 and John R. So I know Warren fairly well as well.
There you go. One of the bowling leagues, because I was wondering why people are running bowling.
Yeah, I'm a bowler.
You're a bowler?
So people are actually following you on here. I appreciate that. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah, apparently I have a big following on TikTok, I guess, kind of now or something. I've blown up there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What's your following on TikTok?
Welcome to the TikTok club.
Thank you. It's been very weird. It's
kind of crazy, right?
Mm-hmm. Very
It's
crazy.
the hat
Yes.
on backwards. That's what does it. It's the hat on
It
backwards.
is. It's always the hats for the
I wear
girls.
it backwards all the time. I can catfish. I look better this way, but then like if I do this, like then I can be all serious. So like it's a whole hat fishing thing that I have
You
going.
know, it's the bald
I mean,
head.
can
It's the bald
I
head.
do that
That's
with
the
my
problem.
hair
I
extension?
have a mohawk and I can't help it. I have
No.
hair. My hair grows like weeds.
Your hair does grow like weeds, and it only looks cute when you actually do it in the mohawk thing and not just like a
All
hot
right,
mess
so
express.
here we go. Here we go. We got. It's the hat on backwards is definitely a plus. It's the red hat.
It's the red hat. It's the color of the hat.
They're
It's the
doing
red
it all.
hat.
They get it all going on here. How many followers you have on TikTok?
I think I'm near 6,000 now, which is up like I want to say close to 1,000 just in the last week or two. Like it's all of a sudden blown up.
I think I found your account when you were still at like less than 1,000 or right at 1,000 or something.
Yeah, it's been weird to try and keep up with it. Like every time I open up TikTok, I have a million
It's
notifications.
crazy, right?
And I feel like a butthole if I don't interact with everyone because I want them to feel like they're included and everything. So it's been wild. And then
thank you for interacting with me.
Okay,
I
so
appreciate
I gotta
turn the
turn
hat
it back around
again.
there we go. There we go.
So, and I guess you're a Detroit Lions fan.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
fine. I'm going to be up there for the Detroit Lions Eagles game this year.
Oh, we're gonna have to get together for some drinks.
You two are gonna have to get together.
I'm definitely up for that. I am definitely up for that. I'm going to be up there for at least 4 or 5 days.
All right,
Yeah,
we're gonna have to get together then for sure.
Sean, prepare yourself. Please put
He hasn't seen me yet. He hasn't seen me.
Gatorade, hydrate a whole lot before he gets there.
I will prep. I will hydrate.
Sleep
I will stretch.
a ton because you won't sleep the entire time he's there.
It's okay. So we're gonna figure. I will set it up so I do not have the girls that weekend.
I will help you prep. You need a prep for Jamie.
All right.
and hopefully it won't be Thanksgiving. I can only I understand 100% because Thanksgiving makes things tough, and I get it.
I'll work it out. If it's Thanksgiving, I can still work it out. And I think it actually, I'd be willing to bet that it'll be Phillies Lions for Thanksgiving this year.
Because they love they love bringing Philadelphia up there for Thanksgiving.
Yes, they do.
So. I have no idea what away games I'm going to go to this year. I got to figure that out. No, you know what? I will probably absolutely go to Houston and go see Patty. That will happen.
We're not talking football just yet.
I know.
We got the draft first. We got the draft first.
The draft hasn't happened, and I'm
like, in a few weeks. We're going to do that. So Sean, I really do appreciate you coming on here and talking to us a little bit about this.
Hey, no
absolutely,
Sean. Shout out your TikTok handle so that everybody on our page knows.
It's at Sean.
You know it off the top of your head.
I do. It's at Sean Goose Chambers. My nickname is Goose, so it's just that's what it is. It's at Sean Goose Chambers. Follow me. Yep. Most people don't even know my real name.
Speak to me, Goose. Speak to me.
Speak to me, Goose.
But yeah,
I love it. Thank you, Sean.
I appreciate it, guys. Yes, I appreciate it. You guys have an awesome night, and I will definitely kick back and watch the rest of the show, guys.
I really do appreciate you coming on here tonight and sharing with us. It's like I said, it ain't so easy to come on and have to deal with me and her.
Yes, no, it's been a good time. I've had a good time. I will be better prepared next time.
Oh, you are fine. Don't worry about it, darling.
No, I'm gonna be drunk next time. It'll be more fun.
Oh,
hey, listen,
let's go.
We're drinking wine by the
we're drinking wine tonight, but
all right, you guys have a good time.
Thank you so much, Sean. If
I
you're
will.
not following
I
him,
will.
please
Thank
go
you.
follow him. He's adorable. He's not only just adorable, but he has an incredible voice for men in general and single moms. Amazing.
She's not
Wow.
saying that really well enough. Like, hey,
I'm
listen, he's a
really
cool
not.
dude. He's a
That's-
cool dude. Follow
He's a
him.
cool dude.
You don't have a voice for men. You know what
Yes.
I mean?
Thank
He
you
can
very
talk
much.
about
Thank you
guys
very
like
much,
with
guys.
guys. That's what she's trying to say. She ain't got a voice for men. He likes women. He's already got 3 kids or 4 kids with 3 women. You know, he's doing his thing. God bless him. You know what I mean?
God bless him.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, John. Have a
Thank you.
great
Have a good
night.
night, guys.
All right, thanks,
Yeah,
John.
thank you.
Bye.
I really do appreciate him coming on. That was really kind of awesome tonight. You know, like I said, and same thing. You know, same thing with. Oh, I'm so bad with the name Angela. Angela, that's right. I was it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Angela. It's not like I forget you. I just had to think about it for half a second because.
No, that's just Jamie's brain. That's why he keeps me around.
Sometimes that's gotta happen. But listen, we still have a couple more TikToks that I want to share tonight. You know, that I felt that was like worthwhile to kind of put into the mix.
I know. Let's kick it off. Let's go.
So we
and
got.
then I have a question. Well, I think one of my posts this week is a good question off of one of your TikToks. So I like it.
Which one? Well, I guess I'll show them first.
Play them, and then I'll ask the question.
Roll the clip, shall we?
I want to know where all y'all old-fashioned men are because we like you.
Old-fashioned men are mostly gone because feminism destroyed them. You define a traditional man as one who looks after his wife and children. But feminism taught us that this was unnecessary because women could do this for themselves. Traditional marriage is also a bust. No-fault divorce makes it easy to destroy, and husbands are often ruined in divorce courts. There is also the problem of cultural imbalance. Women are free to do whatever they want, but men on the dating scene are still defined by gender roles. A woman can tell a man what he must be and do, but if a man tells a woman what to be or do, he's a misogynist. At least according to the feminist movement. I don't like man-children either, but I understand why they've given up. You can't lose if you don't play. Feminism was meant to make your life easier, but I would argue that it's created more problems than it's solved. Hit the plus sign for more common sense content.
Yeah.
Would you like me to start on this one, or do you want to start on this one?
Yeah, you start first.
So I understand the feminist movement. I get that. I'm still a huge believer in somewhat having gender roles, especially when it comes to your home and to your relationship. I absolutely love a romantic and somebody that is chivalrous. Oh, Lord. Chivalrous and still very much in that the man takes charge. I'm very much an alpha female. I'm an alpha female. I'm not gonna lie, but there's times that I need a man to be like, all right, cool down, calm down with yourself. Like there has to be that balance there. There has to be that balance there. So do I understand the feminine movement as if we should all be equal? Yes. However, there's things that I just don't want to be equal about, and I'm okay with that. I want you to open up the door for me. I want you to pull out my chair. I want you to hunt me and ask me on a date. I want you to pursue me. I want all those things. Am I going to do all those things for you in return? Absolutely. But I want those things as well.
I think completely differently.
I know you do. This is why I asked you if you wanted me to start, if you wanted to start.
That's well, because I know. So the woman's movement, the female, like feminism is a lesbian term. So, and nothing against lesbianism. I'm not talking out loud against lesbianism.
No.
But the feminism is a lesbian term. And the reason why it is because all right, maybe I'm gonna backtrack specifically to this video. Everything he just said is a crutch. Because he's saying he's giving a crutch for all men to not do those things. And that's what it is. It has become a crutch, and it has become laziness amongst men to not do the things that they're supposed to do. And trust me, I fall into that category too. Because the truth of the matter is sometimes you don't feel like doing it for them. You know what I mean? When the woman doesn't do it for you, when you don't do it for that woman, like, you become lazy in the relationship. I tell you what, if there's a woman who turns makes me feel a little, you know what? I'm going to run out of my way to go make sure I open the door for her. I'm going to do the things I want to do because I want to do them for her. The problem becomes on the other side of that is that they see that and they don't appreciate it the same way. Because women have the same feelings as men do. They show them differently. That's why men are from Mars and women are from Venus, because they have the same exact emotions. But women say, okay, you're going to go running out of your way for me? Well, I'm just going to that, because it doesn't matter to me now.
But that's
because when you don't do it for me, I want you to do it for me. Like, so when you're not running, because that's what happens when guys are going out of their way to show a woman that they want the woman to be everything in their world. The woman knows that, so they have that already. Now they're looking. Now that's where the grass is greener. So that's where he says.
Wait, hold on. You lost me in that whole statement. Go back, rewind.
So once a woman knows that a guy is theirs, they're not as interested. They're not as excited about that.
That is not true. That is not true for all women.
No. It's got to be a very unique balance. That's where the balance has got to come in. And if that balance isn't there, that's why there's a honeymoon phase. And after the honeymoon phase, things change. Because there's no more of, hey, I'm going to go run to open the car door for you anymore. Mostly because, you know why? Because you guys have had arguments now at this point. It's when that argument stage happens, right after the honeymoon phase, that you don't feel the same way. You know, like you just had an argument and now you're not going to run to go open the car door. And mentally and thought process, it actually starts to ingrain. So you didn't open that car door that first time. Now it's okay for you not to open it the second time and you didn't argue. Now it's, and this goes back to a Harry Met Sally. Like, hey, yeah. I don't ever want to be the guy that says, hey, I didn't want to take you to the airport anymore. And that's really, and when you think about it in a weird sense, it's the same thing we're talking about with just opening a door for somebody, opening the car door, opening the door to the convenience store, just being the smallest portions of considerate from a man to a woman. Mm-hmm. Things that were looked at as chivalry is now no longer looked as chivalry and put into the box of feminism. And that's what I think is wrong.
That is what is wrong. We can agree on that.
So, and that's, and that's where, and I don't agree with what he's saying to that extent, but for different reasons than why you're explaining them. So,
Probably.
Here was another good one. I'm going to go with this
I
one
think,
next.
I think, Jamie, we're on the same page. We're just speaking two different languages.
Yeah, a little bit. You're Venus. I'm Mars. I get it.
I know. It happens.
Here's what's next.
Do you want to do a video call? We can give you age restrictions. How about we do it? We don't set a deal breaker, yeah? 18-year-olds to 45-year-olds. Maximize. What about distance? You care about distance? I know you live in Philly, but let's show you guys in Florida. How about Vermont? Yeah, we're going to do that. You're 5'10", we're going to show you guys 5'8" and under. Unless you pay, can't help you. Video call? You want to do a video call? Educated guy, we got construction workers. Let me show you a police officer. Unless you pay an insane amount of money, we cannot show you men with college degrees. Oh, you like that guy? Guess what? You're out of likes. You used your allotted 1 like per day. Video call though? Why don't you video call with that guy Chad? Did you and Chad meet? Let us know why. Did you meet? How'd it go? Do you want a video call? Roses though, we got roses. Use a rose. Do you want to do a video call? We can give you.
Do you want to do a video call? I
Want to do a video call? Because I watched this when Jamie showed it to me earlier. I watched this for the first time, and my immediate reaction was like, "Oh, let me give you a rose, but I can't talk to you. I'm going to give you a rose, but I can't actually talk to you. I got a rose."
Dating apps are so
I
funny
gave you
to
my
me.
rose.
Dating apps are so funny to me, but I love them. I love dating apps. All of them. We're going to have the dating app show soon. Not next week either. It's not gonna be next week.
No, because we have something else next week.
Correct. But we're going to have the dating app show next week.
We have to figure out the details to that nonsense. But
it's coming back. We talked about dating apps before. Last season, we talked about dating apps. We got a lot of more with the dating apps. So here was another one. Like I said, we got a couple more that I want to actually. I'm only going to show one more because the other ones I felt were a little too dark, and this has been upbeat. So I want to keep it upbeat.
Upbeat.
For all my guys who want some advice on how to pick up women, here's some. Stop trying. You're so coochie crazy, you don't even realize you're not interesting. You have no skills, you have no talents, all you want is hoes. For what? The nut you get from clapping some cheeks is the same nut you can get from good old Jill. If you focused on bettering yourself, you wouldn't have to use tips and tricks to cajole your way into some coochie.
Cajole your way into some coochie.
Control your way into some coochie.
You can't cajole your way into some coochie. I love that note. I love that.
But my thing is I want to control, because I've literally said this the wrong way. I don't know how many times tonight. I'm going to control my way into some coochie because I want to set you girls up.
That's not what he was saying.
No,
he was saying. I know
what he was saying.
You got to stop trying. Be yourself, and that will get you the women.
Yes.
When you are trying to be sneaky and trying to cajole your way into some coochie, you ain't going to do it, or that coochie that you're going to get is not going to be worth anything for you, because that same coochie that you're slapping the cheeks on is the same as you using Jill.
Might as well watch some porn.
Might as well.
That's
what Jill is all about. So who would have thought? Who would have thought that this is where it would have turned to? Like we were talking about how I had a crush back when I was a little kid of who was it? Oh my God.
Sarah.
No, Sarah Callback. Sarah Callback. I knew Sarah Callback. I know was my very first one, but I was thinking of Christy McNichol.
You were thinking about your first celebrity crush. All right, okay. We'll roll it back that way.
Sarah Callback. Sarah Callback should have her name never should have came up in this conversation. So I feel bad if she's still if she's by chance watching this. I'm sorry, Sarah.
It's fine, Sarah. It will be okay. He probably threw something at you or hit you. It's okay.
I don't think I think he probably kicked my ass back then.
No, you probably kicked her ass. And if Sarah, if you are watching and he did do that, just play peekaboo in my DMs and I'll smack him back for you.
Yeah, I don't know that even was the case.
Probably not. But
he played the violin.
Talk of the question that I asked. I know. What was the TikTok that you were going to play about cheating?
About cheating.
It was about emotional. It was something about cheating. Oh God! Now I wish I would have paid attention to what the man was wearing. I think it was.
Do you really want to know why 80% of divorces are filed by women? Because it's not adultery and it's not abuse. We know that adultery occurs at virtually identical rates in marriages, and we know abuse occurs at virtually identical rates. In fact, if anything, abuse against men by their wives is far, far underreported. So if there's not a disproportionate amount of abuse or cheating, why is there a disproportionate amount of women filing for divorce? Do you know what the number one factor predicting divorce is? Do you know what the number one factor or life event immediately preceding a divorce is? The husband losing his job, losing his business, or experiencing a major mental health crisis such as severe depression. You see, because men love women for who they are and women love men for what they can provide. You see, women aren't interested in your struggles and they're not interested in helping you through your struggles. They wait at the finish line and pick the winners. And the one right women always reserve is the right to change their mind, often changing the horse they're betting on mid-race. Only women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally. That's why they file 80% of divorces.
All right. I don't want to get a whole bunch into this because that was a lot. However, I don't want to get into the abuse side of it because that will bring us to like
That's a whole different scenario. And he pushed that off as well. It wasn't what he was trying to talk about.
Yes. I think his picker's off and he's very angry.
So the guy, I will preface this with, when I saw this video, it was duetted by a girl who was saying that this hurts my heart.
Well,
and then I clicked on his. It kind
of hurts my heart too because he's very angry and he's very hurt.
Right, and that's, you could tell. So, and I literally, when I saw that, and like I said, it was kind of like it was actually the other way that we are. So she was on this side and he was talking on this side. And and he was saying specifically,
I don't wave that way.
And she was going, this hurts my heart.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to him talk and I'm like, all right, hold on. I got to go click on him specifically so I can see this video in full. And I watched him just with that video and I'm like, this has got to be something that I download, because, it's beyond the fact that it's just, it's not just the two of us here. We're talking to people that are dealing with other things that we aren't dealing with, and
I would love to hook Sean and this guy up.
They kind of look similar. One's got a little bit more hair.
I don't think they look similar at all, but I think that Sean could probably give this guy some like really good like support and advice. Because I think this guy is very, very hurt and very angry. And he's lost a lot, and he's angry and frustrated about that. And I think he's blaming it a lot on the woman and not taking a step back and saying what did I do wrong in the relationship? Because it takes two people to make a relationship work. It doesn't take one person to make a relationship work. It takes two people to make a relationship work. See, Sean's like, I'm in if he needs me.
Well, and like I said, when I saw this, I understood. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I get it. I'm like, and like I said, where I thought that the other one that I showed, like that I haven't played just because I felt that it was a little too dark. It was just,
It is. I happen to really liked it.
Well,
but,
you know what? We might as well roll the clip because.
Well, can I wait? Because I want to go back to our post that we did this week on Instagram and Facebook, and I want to tell you what the results were.
Okay, all right, let's do it.
Because here it is like cheating, right? Because this obviously he was cheated on in some way, shape, or form. Obviously was cheated on. So what is worse? Is it worse being cheated on physically or emotionally? What's worse? Is it worse to be cheated on physically or emotionally? If you are going to catch your significant other cheating on you, are you going to be more hurt that they cheated on you physically or emotionally?
You want me to answer that question?
Well, I'll answer it if you want to answer it. I'll answer my answer. And then I'll tell you what everybody else said.
All right. Well, you tell me what your answer is, and then I'll tell you what my answer is.
Mine is definitely emotionally.
So I would agree.
I've been cheated on physically and emotionally. Mine is definitely, if it hurts more for me to be cheated on emotionally. I've been cheated on both ways.
So I would agree with you on that. And I can only agree with you on that on the basis of how my exes, all of my exes, have felt. Because whether they thought that I cheated or whether I actually cheated, it didn't matter. It was the fact that they felt that I was unable to give them the emotional support that they wanted to begin with. However, I will say that if I wasn't able to give them the emotional support, they weren't ready to throw in the towel until after I had proven to them that it was the actual cheating that caused the issue. And that's what made me believe that women in general have a much lower self-esteem than they lead on.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Because of what was going on. Like again, I'm not trying to call any of my exes out.
No.
It's not a matter of that.
We'll go back to that. Is that overall, do you know what the major response to our poll was? Is that it was worse to be cheated on physically.
Right. Because the physical portion gives them actual proof.
Yeah.
The emotional portion, they can deal with all of their lives without ever knowing.
Mm-hmm.
And they could put it out of their head.
Yep.
Because ultimately, if you never got caught, you never cheated. And that's a real statement. That's why they made songs about it. And you caught me in the shower, wasn't me.
Wasn't me.
You know what I mean? And there's something real about that.
No, well, it's true. But that was, so the poll was that physical cheating was worse. However, for me, emotional cheating was much, much worse than that physical doing it itself.
Because the truth of the matter is that, I mean, what was that movie? He's Just Not That Into You.
Yes. Love that movie.
And I think about the woman who was with Silver Linings Playbook. He's from Philly too, and I'm so bad. He's an Eagles fan.
I don't know one.
Oh my God, I'm gonna smack myself for this one. Come on. He was in Silver Linings Playbook, and he's
Somebody pop it up in the comments so Jamie stops thinking about it.
yeah. Oh my God, they're gonna. But anyways, he's the guy. He's the guy who winds up with Scarlett Johansson.
Okay.
Cheats with Scarlett Johansson, and the wife who is more worried about him not cheating, was like, oh, is he cheating on me? Is he not cheating on me? And gets more upset about him because like she can figure out anything else. Hey, he's cheating on me. I can work through that mentally. But he's smoking. No smoking. NOSMOKING.
Oh God, no, she's got brown hair. Oh God, what is her name?
Bradley Cooper. It's not Jennifer Lawrence. It's definitely not.
No, she's got brown hair though. Right. Tall, skinny. Oh God, I can Bradley picture Cooper, her.
But you know who I'm talking about now.
I do know who you're talking about. Can't remember her name.
Bradley Cooper specifically because he hooked up with Scarlett Johansson Johansson, and Scarlett Johansson was getting together, was trying to get together with her. In the I'm
remodeling the house.
He wasn't E there.
I can picture her. Can't remember her name.
So we know what we're talking about. Like I said, go watch the movie. You know what I'm talking about. She was all nervous about him cheating on her, and she was willing to forgive him for that. And I tell you, the physical act is easier to forgive. The emotional act is never able to be forgiven.
Nope.
And that's the problem. That's the problem. You could sleep with whoever you want to sleep with, but and that's why, and I've always been a proponent of that. Listen, there are times in our lives where you are at a bar and sometimes you meet somebody who you just become enamored with there's like a chemical thing that happens in your body that makes you enamored with somebody. And everything seems to go right at that moment. And you do something because of all of those chemicals that are involved. And then you go home and then you regret it all. Because you love the person that you're with and you feel a certain way. And you actually start to do things that you wouldn't have done without cheating. Because you feel bad. Because you feel guilty. Because you feel the things that you're supposed to feel when you do those things wrong.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jamie's apologizing to somebody right now.
I'm not apologizing to somebody right now. I'm telling you that this is how guys feel. And I bet you this is how women feel too. There were times.
It could be. I'm just not one of those girls. Like I've had that experience where I've met a guy at a bar and I've had that connection and it's amazing and it's wonderful. And there was 100% that sexual connection there. And we exchanged numbers and we stayed in contact with each other. But there was no going home or doing anything besides that. I was in a relationship with somebody at the time. We remained friends. It never got to a sexual orientation until after I was out of my relationship. And we both kind of were like, we're both single at this time, so let's see if this is a thing now. And it wasn't, and it's fine. We've moved on from it.
Well, and certain people are going to feel a certain way. So Adam specifically saying this, and there's a difference between what we're talking about right now and you. So
physically walking into it.
That is the difference, because the physically walking into it
You
makes the
can't
physical emotional.
that doesn't go out of your mind.
Right. The physical becomes emotional, and that is where the two connect. And you never get over it because
You're never going to get over it.
You've seen it already. And that's the thing. That's where you know that it's over. You have to, but see, there you have to be realistic about that too. You can't be willing to forgive that, because ultimately the next time is worse.
I'm going to throw this out there. So my last relationship, we all know who he is. He was emotionally cheating on me for a very long time before he actually physically cheated on me.
And it's not until the physical part that you can get rid of the emotional part.
But it was the
emotional part that leads you to a certain specific spot.
Yes.
I get it. I understand. I trust me. I know. I am of the ilk of the understanding of this. It's not simple. Hey, listen, guys. Us doing this, and us talking to you guys about this isn't easy for us either. You know what I mean? Like, we dealt with this. We felt this way, and I tell you, I'll be honest. I have been on the phone with her. She's been crying her eyes out to me. You know, and I've been telling her, I'm like, listen, these are the things that you have to do. And I can tell you all the things you have to do, but you got to do them. I can't tell you to do them. You're not going to do them if I can't, because I can't make you do them. You have to do them on your own. And that's the hard part with this. That's what makes this show so worthwhile to do.
It is.
As I take my hat off and I mess up my hair.
I know.
You know what I mean? Because it has nothing.
Sexy right now.
It doesn't matter what I look like. It does a little bit. But but realistically, it's not a matter of, everybody needs emotional support.
We all do.
And it doesn't matter how easy or hard that whatever it is that you're dealing with, that you're able to deal with it. We all need the help. That's the purpose of the show in the beginning. That's the difference between last season and this season. Was that when we talked about this for real, we talked about saying, hey, what really is the helpful part is the conversations that we're having after we get off of lives.
Oh, because we would have so many amazing conversations afterwards that we weren't having on air. And it got to a point where we looked at each other and we were like, why are we talking about all the important stuff off air and not on air?
And so that's why we decided to bring the show back a second season.
Well,
beyond the fact that you guys kept asking for it. You guys all wanted us to come back on in the first place.
Come, we miss you. Come talk to us again. Come, we miss your faces. But I think part of Jamie and I's conversation on the couch at 6 a.m. in the morning was that it's just gonna be me and him, and it's gonna be real, and either you take it or you leave it, and that's what it is.
Yeah, like the first season was like a gimmick. The goal was, hey, my love life is a shit show, you know what I mean? And she was going to help me try to get out of it. And the truth of the matter is, my life isn't a shit show. My love life is actually like a normal guy's love life. You know what I mean?
It is, but I also think the first time that we had the conversation about the show, you were in the more of a mindset of, I'm looking for my girl. I want to find my girl. And I think it took you having that time during COVID and being shut down to make you really realize that you're okay on your own. You're happy on your own. If there's a girl out there that is going to be your partner more for it, but you are perfectly okay playing in the grass.
Now I know. Now I know. Like I said, now it's funny that
I don't think you were there 2 years ago when we first started this.
Well, 2 years ago, it was a matter of, hey, listen, I'm by myself in general. You know what I mean? That
he hated being, but he hated being like, we would all be together and he would be like, I'm the only one that's single. This sucks.
Well, but even beyond that, it was a matter of not that I was the only one that's single. This sucks. I was the only one that was. I went through a depression. You know what I mean? So, and we all go through it. You know what I mean? It was a matter of realizing what is the first day of the rest of my life going to look like, and that's hard to figure out sometimes. Sometimes you can't get beyond that part, and I tell you, you gotta always for anybody that's listening to this, for anybody that's maybe it's not even being single is the problem, that there's another mental block that you are running into. You can't stop. You can't quit. Quitting is not an option. And it doesn't matter whether you think there's nobody around that's going to be able to help you, or that there's going to be somebody who may miss you if you're gone. Quitting is never the option. And this is, I'm going to talk about this. This came directly from somebody who wound up committing suicide, ridiculously enough. But this came right from Robin Williams. Robin Williams saying that suicide, or wanting to kill yourself or remove yourself from the situation is a long-term solution for a short-term problem.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. If you're heartbroken, you can get over it. If you're hurt about something, you can get over it. Scars mend for a reason.
True.
And it's hard sometimes. It's hard to see beyond.
And Jamie and I have both been there.
Going through the pain, yes, you got to feel the pain. It's going to hurt. That's what pain does. It hurts. It sucks.
This man over here, wait, hold on. This man over here has picked me up off the ground a couple times.
It is Jennifer Lawrence. So you're right. I'm sorry. You're right. It is Jennifer Lawrence, because no. Jennifer Lawrence was the Silver Linings Playbook. We're talking about She's Just Not That Into You.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence is Silver Lining Playbook. That's who he dances with. I love that dance. That's a great dance, by the way.
That is a great dance.
Yeah. But it happened. But what I'm talking about is she's just not that into you.
I'm gonna have to look it up now.
I can look it up right now, in fact.
Oh God, here we
go. Yeah, here we go.
He's never gonna get out of his brain. Totally sidetracked, by the way.
She's Just Not That Into You cast. Jennifer Connelly. So that's kind of where we're at. And like I said, I'm not trying to make anybody, all I want to do is help. That's kind of what it is that we're trying to do here. It's like I want you to know that somebody actually feels the exact same way you have, understands, can appreciate the pain that you're going through, and knows that you can get through it because you are the man or the woman that's able to do that. And once you're through it, you're going to feel much better for it. And that's what this show's about. That's
And
what I care about this show. That's
I
what I'm
think-
trying to do here. And
and I
that's what
think
we are trying to do here. I'm
we are
sorry,
trying
not
to do.
we.
We are trying to do. And it's not just about relationships, it's about co-parenting and life in general. Like, all those things affect us on an everyday basis. And these are conversations that Jamie and I have had off camera that we really felt like it was time for us to bring them on camera and make this show just not about dating, but about life in general. Like, just about life in general.
And
Like,
that's why. So, did I show that last video? I never even showed the last video.
Which one?
The one that I thought was a little too.
I didn't think that was morbid. I thought that was really good, and I thought
So
I think
this is the last clip. I'm gonna do this.
That would be a really good wrap up for the show at this point.
Well, and in the meantime, I'm gonna be while this is happening. I got to disappear because I have to pee.
You ever ask a man how he's doing, and he says, "I'm all right." I'm here to tell you, that man is not all right. That man is battling demons that you cannot even possibly imagine. That man is struggling every single day to find a reason to keep going. And the reason we say we're all right is because as a man, nobody really fucking cares what you're going through. So why even bother to say it? But you know what? I feel you, brother. Because I'm all right too.
All right. Well, until Jamie comes back, I can't see your all's comments, but I appreciate them. And I would stick. Don't take that as just men in general. However, I think men have a harder time talking about their feelings. I completely understand that. But as a woman that has a hard time of talking about her feelings, I could fit myself in that same scenario. So that's just where we're at with the whole thing. But
and that was the reason why I wanted to show that, because that actually made me feel something. You know what I mean? It was like when I saw that specifically.
Too. When you showed it to me earlier, I was like, oh, I don't think that's that morbid. I think that makes sense. And I think that touches a lot of bases of what we're actually trying to do. And you were like, oh, it's kind of morbid. And I'm like, are we that morbid?
Well, it wasn't morbid. It was a little darker. It was like a little deeper than, like, so we try to keep it light. You know what I mean? And that's part of what we're talking about here. It's like, hey, this is funny because, you know, we're in the shit show ourselves. We deal with it. You know, but
has anybody seen the two of us in the same room together? We are a shit show.
So, but you know, but ultimately, what he was talking about there actually had a lot of sense. It's like, that's why and that was the reason why I wanted to download TikToks in the beginning, because there's certain times that people are saying something that should be heard by more people than just the few that are listening to it on TikTok.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of how we felt about that. Like, it's.
Yep. Yeah. We wanted to share with you guys that don't necessarily have TikTok, because there's a lot of us out there on Facebook that don't have TikTok accounts. I started my TikTok account merely for my kids, and mine took off, and I've just kind of rolled with it. But I get a lot of support off of TikTok, even if it's not necessarily me communicating with people in general. And I can tell you, there's about a handful of actual TikTok creators, Sean included in one of them, that I have now connected with, and I do talk to, that Damien that like popped in and said hello earlier. Another one, like Shannon that I've talked to about before. Like, there's a lot of support and a lot of, even if you're not connecting with them and actually physically talking to them, there's a lot of really, really good advice out there. There's a lot of bad advice, but there is also a lot of really good advice out there, and a lot of positive influences that are going on too.
And that's what keeps us going.
It
You
does.
know, it's like
Because we want to be positive.
we have had a difficult time trying to do Tuesday nights.
I know.
It's like she forgets, I forget, or like we're busy on Tuesday nights.
Okay, so I do not need to not see my kids for a week and then get them home on a Tuesday night and get wrapped up into mom life. That does not need to happen.
You know, and that's kind of part of what we're trying to do here. Whether it's me, whether it's Angela, whether it's Sean, whether it's just Bristol, any one of us, it's a matter of sharing. We are all in this together. We are all in this together. And as much as I can make a joke about it, and I can make a joke about it a lot of the time, it's that's part of the game here. That's part of the game of what we're doing. And so I really do appreciate that you guys are spending time with us and doing this with us. So
I know.
I'm going to throw this out here because we've only got a few more minutes left here. And there's a few people that are still watching here, but I want to put this out there for anybody else who happens to watch the show to the very end and say this. So we have been posed with a...
Are you throwing out the Friday night details?
I am. We have been posed with a question. We mentioned a couple of weeks ago that there was a television network that was interested in having us on. And they have asked if we would be more interested or that it would work out better for them if we were on Friday nights. Now, beyond the fact that Friday nights is Friday nights, and it's a lot harder for the both of us. The both of us could do it. It would be frustrating.
We've talked about it.
It would be frustrating because half the time we would have our kids. The other half of the time, it's like our social life that we would then have to negotiate and spend with you guys. Not that we wouldn't love spending the time with you guys. It's just that, sometimes Daddy likes some love.
I would like to go on a Friday night date.
I would like to do a Friday night date myself, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not interested in trying to do this and spending this time with you.
Well, I love you as well. I'll Friday night date with you forever.
So but we're trying to see if you guys would listen to us on Friday nights instead of Tuesday nights.
If
Tuesday night was better for you, I don't need to go on television. I'd rather spend it with the people that are interested in hearing me rather than going on TV and thinking that somebody else is going to listen to me. Because I don't know any of those people. I know you guys.
Right. We've been here for 2 years. We're loyal to you guys. If this is where you guys want us to stay, this is where we are.
However, if you would think that we would be better on television and doing our thing and stuff like that, let us know. You don't have to tell us right now, obviously, because we're just about the end here. But if you think that this is something you would be interested in hearing us on Friday nights for a couple hours, when we do Friday nights from 10 to 12, and we get to be on television, we get to be on a Roku channel. It'll be fun.
It'll be fun.
Let us know. Let us know. We're going to be on Tuesday next week and the following week. Because it's going to take a few weeks, and in 2 weeks I'm going to be doing our show from Cleveland.
I know. I'm going to miss you, my little love.
I'm going to be there. I'm going to be on the show, though.
I know.
From Cleveland.
From Cleveland.
You just won't be in Cleveland.
I am not going.
But I will be. And so we're going to be doing it. I'm going to be talking from Cleveland, Ohio.
Probably all dressed up. If you dress up in the Philly sports guy, I'll dress up as Cutie Hawk, and we can.
I'm not doing that on Tuesday night.
Okay, good to go.
I have to do it on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
He's like, I'm out on Tuesday.
Tuesday night, I'm going to Cleveland, and I may do it from a bar where I bring on single people to bring on with us. But I probably am not going to go dress up as a Philly sports guy.
Well, I'm perfectly okay with not dressing up as Cutie Hawk. So there we go.
Perfect. But anyways, guys, we did this for 2 hours. We said this was only going to be an hour show, but when it comes down to it,
we always talk away.
We love you guys. We love hanging with you guys.
I know we do. All right, love.
It was a great show.
Are you piecing out, or am I piecing out?
Well, we could both piece out because I would just end the broadcast here. But
I meant, are you doing the closing or am I doing the closing?
You did the closing, and then if I don't like it, I'll do another one.
So much in control.
Hey, listen.
We are two birds.
Oh, well, we're not even on the hunt anymore. We are the two birds. We are the Two Birds podcast.
We are the Two Birds podcast.
I hope you guys enjoyed your wine. The kids are still asleep. That's what we were trying to do. I'm almost done the wine. I'm on the
opposite side of the screen, and I don't know how this side works anymore. All right.
Hold on. We can switch. Hold on, just so that everybody. Okay. Bam.
All right. Now I can cheers you. Cheers.
Cheers. Everybody.
Good night, guys.
Have a great night. Thank you for paying attention and watching Two Birds, the podcast.
Two Birds, the podcast.